vastness of the universe, filled with many larger, brighter, and denser stars. But most of them are too far away, that the light they emit is too faint, it's invisible to the naked eye. However, there is a galaxy visible to the naked eye in the night sky. This is a massive and ancient cluster of stars that's more than twice the size of the Milky Way. Today we are embarking on a journey from the ancient history of this galaxy all the way into the distant future. We utilize the most beautiful images and complex data in an unprecedented manner to learn about our cosmic neighbor. Andromeda goes by many names. Messier 31, originally the Andromeda Nebula, and most of you know the Andromeda Galaxy, due to his zodiac sign. He himself is based on Greek mythology, the wife of Borseus, or Phoenike, named after Lord Andromeda. Unlike most galaxies, Andromeda is visible to the naked eye in the dark nights of autumn, and he is easiest to see in the moonless sky. So he's long before we know of other galaxies. It was discovered before it existed, but he was mistakenly assumed lucky within the boundaries of the galaxy. For thousands of years, perhaps the ancients were also thinking, what is this fuzzy bright spot? Currently known, the earliest documented records of the Andromeda dating back to 964 AD. A Persian astronomer wrote a book. The Book of Stars is in the book. He called this vague quantity Ban Xiaoyun. But in 1612, German astronomer Simon Mariu, he used a telescope for the first time. The Andromeda Galaxy was observed and recorded. Then in 1764, the French astronomer Messier catalogued it as M31. This includes even Messier, I don't know either, many other galaxies. By the end of that century, 1786, the British astronomer William Herschel noticed the center of the M31. It seems to have a hint of red compared to the outside, because he was able to observe such exquisite detail. He mistakenly believed that Andromeda is the nearest of all the big clouds. It should be no more than 18,000 light-years from Earth. In 1845, William Parsons, the first spiral discovered in galaxies M51 and M99, spin structure 5 years later. He put Andromeda together with other galaxies, is classified in a new category of so-called spiral nebula. Believe they are the Milky Way's own nebula. Type, however, no. Everyone was convinced by the nebula explanation. From the 18th century philosopher Immanuel Kant began, some respected thinkers have proposed this celestial body. It might actually be his own island, a massive cluster of stars like the Milky Way, but much farther away than any other celestial body. However, people at that time believed the Milky Way is the entire universe. This idea puts the distance of the M31, placed by contemporaries, within the unacceptable range. Until 1917, American astronomer Herb Curtis witnessed a star inside M31. A luminous object briefly illuminates the surrounding area, but in the sky, the stars seen elsewhere are different. This star is incredibly faint. After searching for the celestial, after limited historical photos, Curtis discovered, in Andromeda, there have been at least 11 other stellar events than anywhere else in the galaxy. But the brightness of all these stellar events then found elsewhere in the sky. 10 at set. This is the moment. Curtis realized that what he saw was not a nebula at all, but alike more distant groups of stars like the Milky Way. This led to Curtis. He rediscovered Kant's island hypothesis and proposed Andromeda is 500,000 light-years from Earth. But this claim has been disputed by many, especially American astronomer Harlow Shapley. He had previously built a new model of the Milky Way and measured. Think of the Milky Way as a flat disk. It's about 300,000 light-years. The distance from the sun to the center of about 50,000 light-years. This scale is much larger than the astronomers' previous knowledge of the Milky Way. Therefore, Shapley had to change his worldview. No longer think of those blurry nebulae. It is an independent cosmic island outside the Milky Way. They believed that the galaxy was the universe itself. A nebula is some kind of material in the interior of. Therefore, He thought the diameter of the universe was 300,000 light. This eventually led to the 20th century, one of the most significant events in science, the Great 1920 Cosmic Debate. Shapley argued that the Milky Way is the entire universe. Think of spiral nebulae like Andromeda Nebula. It's all small celestial bodies, just a few gas clouds in the Milky Way galaxy. And Curtis thinks those spiral nebulae observed through telescopes, in fact, it can be related to the Milky Way, comparable galaxy, or cosmic island. He thinks there are more novae in Andromeda than in the Milky Way. This historic debate, in fact, it is different from the rhetoric in the modern "you come and go." The two astronomers each have a 40-minute presentation time. Describe each other's knowledge of the universe. Then, each person has a chance to refute the other's remark. Then there are the comments from the live audience. Although their focusing on the properties of spiral and cosmic in size, the two of them were asked as many as 4. There are differences of opinion. The debate ultimately did not produce a clear winner. The issue was eventually shelved for 4 years. In 1924, Edwin Haber, using the Wilson Observatory, 254-centimeter reflecting telescope just built, they made a lot of observations. The first abdominal implant was discovered in the variable star, confirmed that Andromeda is outside the Milky Way, confirmed his galactic nature, resolved the debate. The pulsating period of a variable star indicates it's once we know the luminosity of a star, we can put it is compared to the apparent brightness of the Earth to limit the distance. Use this technology, Harbaugh proved beyond dispute. M31 is more than 1.50 million light-years away, so it has to be a separate galaxy. In addition, all the so-called spiral nebulae that are in their own galaxy. Each is a number outside of ourselves, million light-years. Part of the universe is real. The terrifying scale has been revealed. Once we realize that M31 is a separate galaxy, then our understanding of the universe. From this moment on, there is a huge leap forward. As a cosmic neighbor, Andromeda provides an opportunity to study spiral galaxies. In the 1950s, we made radio maps of the Milky Way. And today, NASA's 4 large space observatories. Periodic observations are made for Andromeda's UV rays, infrared and X-ray signals. Although currently, there are no dedicated probes or missions yet to study our neighbors. But many space telescopes have been launched. But you can observe even more distant galaxies, such as telescopes like Hubble. You would gaze out to galaxies billions of light-years away. In comparison, to observe a light-year below 3 million distance Andromeda Galaxy, it's an easy thing to do. So we now have a huge amount of exquisite detail. The stunning images of Andromeda. His internal map has been made and found stars within its range. Cluster nebula, neutron stars and black holes. This is indeed an extremely rich world. In fact, these findings also reflecting the interior of our own galaxy, but usually on a larger scale. So not much to say. Let's set foot on the road to Andromeda. Dig into these findings. Hello, Andromeda is similar to the Milky Way. Consists of a peripheral spiral of dust and gas. The structural similarities between the two, they're all following similar evolutionary paths. Andromeda is believed to be formed 10 billion years ago. Since then, he just kept hit and devour other galaxies to grow. Galaxy. The visible component is about 160. It doesn't look very different from the Milky Way. However, the complete structure, including a day-night interaction, it's expanding outward, gives the galaxy a maximum extension of about 220. It is the largest celestial object in the local group to date. Number of stars, far more than we know about the Milky Way. The most ambitious estimate, M31 is home to more than 1 trillion stars. Its distance from the Earth, limited by different methods. Most measurements agree that the value is 2.54 million light-years. As we ascend to the plane of the galaxy, this huge and the first step in a vast journey appears. As his starlight dwindled, our view of the local view of galaxies outside, it's getting really clear. The reality of this vast universe. Amazing scale. Obvious? Once we cross over the stars on the outskirts and its ghostly satellite galaxies, we will reach interstellar space. It's like you're in a gravity zone, as empty as you can get in the universe. In comparison, the air we breathe on Earth, there are about 10 to 25 squares of atoms per cubic. Even in space above the Earth's atmosphere, there are about 10 to 19 square atoms per cubic. But in interstellar space, this number drops to there are only 10 atoms per cubic meter. But having said that, it's not that there's nothing there. Sometimes it also contains the constant stars and planetary systems. They were caught by giant galactic tides. The force is completely ejected from their galaxy. Such a world, as cold and lonely as you are in space, there's no heat. Here is the interstellar planet. From their atmospheres to their cores are frozen solid. Halfway through our cosmic journey, this is the territory of the Andromeda Galaxy by mistake. First came his massive galactic atmosphere, like the Milky Way. Andromeda is surrounded by a diffuse plasma of light. Scientists believe it is the galaxy, the afterglow after a collision. The radius of galactic transport is astounding, 1.3 million light-years. Andromeda, half the distance from the galaxy to the Milky Way, but it wasn't the longest. In some directions, even extending 2 million light-years away. If your eyes can see the Andromeda Galaxy, then we will find. He took up almost half the night sky. Within this range, we discovered a satellite galaxy of Andromeda. They each has hidden clues about its violent past. Andromeda is current. It has more than 20 known satellite galaxies and may have had more in the past. Later, it was swallowed by him. In these satellite galaxies, 3 are thought to be forming Andromeda's tilt. Slender structures and giants played a key role in the system operation. They are M32 respectively, M110 and M33, the Triangulum Galaxy. M32 is a small dwarf elliptical galaxy. In a close-up photo of Andromeda, is seen as a blurry golden blob of light, and he's only about 6,500 light-years across. However, it is more than 1 million times supermassive black hole combined. For such a small galaxy, it's a massive core. This suggests that the past him may have been bigger. Given the mass of this central black hole, scientists believe that M32 may have been a separate spiral galaxy, or lenticular galaxy. It's bigger than the Triangulum Galaxy, but in the end, not enough to survive the encounter with the host. When 2 galaxies are close together, fateful circular galaxy, its outer stars are absorbed by Andromeda, only left with a dense river of galaxies connected to supermassive black holes. Is another elliptical satellite galaxy in Andromeda. BM32 has a large diameter of approximately 143,000, very similar to the former. M11 is considered related to. There was interaction. Scientists are in Andromeda's halo, found weak, metal-rich channels. This is thought to be formed from the horizontal rows of M11 glass, due to being within the confines of large. Imagine that. What would it be like for us to live in M11? You'll see the massive profile of Andromeda. The galactic disk swallows your entire sky at night. Think about history, social and religious influences. If early humans saw something like this hanging in their ancient sky, how would it feel? Finally, there's the M33, the Triangulum Galaxy. He is currently the 3rd largest member of the local cluster, a spiral galaxy about 60,000 light-years in diameter. Astronomers are still unsure. Is he really a satellite galaxy of Andromeda? It might just be a separate galaxy, located just a short distance from it, 750,000 light-years away. But anyway, these 2 galaxies, it has to have happened in the last few billion years. The data shows that their future will embrace again 40 billion stars of M33, destined to serve a new galaxy. Finally, we sailed alone millions of light years. In this darkness, we have arrived at the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy. Once through the plasma transport, we will arrive at a denser, extended astrolabe. This is a past collision by Andromeda of scattered rows. After going through this, we're finally reaching the visible part of the galaxy. Rod-spinning structures are rich in dust, gases and metals, similar to the Milky Way. But unlike the Milky Way, Andromeda's spiral structure is more complex. In and triangular galaxy, billions of years of attractive forces. In 1998, the ESA infrared telescope revealed that Andromeda Galaxy may be transforming into ring galaxy because of the dust in his body. It seems to be in a different place from the core, aggregate into overlapping rings. Studies with NASA telescopes show that the two spiral arms extend outward from the center to the outside of the ring, but they are divided into 7 helices. Enhanced by hydrogen, the connection is formed between the Chi and dispose of. NGC 206 is one such region. It is the largest roaming area in Andromeda. Located between its 2 suspension walls to the southwest, it's about 4,000 light-years across. In the local group of galaxies, one of the largest clusters of its kind, contains more than 300 blues, dozens of times supergiant. NGC 206 is not where we are in Andromeda, the only place where the star cluster was. In fact, we're already within range. More than 460 globular clusters have been identified. We are in our own silver, more than 3 times the number found. The most important of these is NGC 2.4G1. It is the largest known star cluster in and contains millions of stars of various ages. The mass of its stellar population, luminosity, and overall differences mean it may not be a true globular cluster. And in fact, he may have been swallowed by Fairy, the fractured heart of a round galaxy, similar to the M32. But on a relatively small scale, the outer layer of NGC 24G1, stripped and dissolved in the realm of Andromeda. But its core manages to keep its center, 20,000 a black hole. Now, these surviving stars circle around the black hole, make it look like an alternative globular cluster. He hides the secrets of a richer past. The number of stars in Andromeda seems to be consistent with the Milky Way. Clusters of old and young stars. Nebula black hole. There are also many stars like the Sun. The world around us is also life-sustaining. Unfortunately, Andromeda is too far away. We couldn't find their exact location, not even in our own galaxy. The department has achieved this, however, despite the difficulties. In 1999, scientists believed that when a microlens event is detected, they have discovered in the Andromeda Galaxy circumstantial evidence for planets. When a light source travels towards the Earth, due to the attractive forces of celestial bodies, slight bending, this is called PA99N2, Andromeda-based microlens signals one possible explanation: the light of a red giant star surrounded by exogalaxies 6 times the mass of Jupiter are destroyed. However, unfortunately, due to not aligning as expected by chance. And here's what we need to know. Due to the frequent occurrence of microlensing, therefore, it is difficult for us to do it. It captured the same signal to study it further. But even if this isn't the result of an exoplanet, we can still be relatively certain Andromeda is like the Milky Way, is billions, a home planet orbiting a star. Many of them will resemble the Sun and fit for a world like Earth. Except for active stars, we also found the Death Star in Andromeda. Look for an X-ray operator in this neighborhood. This led to the discovery of dozens of candidate black, maybe even a neutron star. M31 is likely associated with these deceased hearts walk together. They are the legacy of the old generation. Most important, the black hole at the center of the galaxy, of course. And we discovered Andromeda, the strangest place. The dense galactic core is divided into 2 regions, classified as dual core. The 2 of them are called P1 and P2. P1 is the brighter substance concentration, but it's off-center. In comparison, P2 is located in the center. That's the galactic tide. The supermassive black hole that powers it is here. It is estimated that this dark heart, the mass is equivalent to 100 million suns. This is bigger than the central supermassive black, much bigger. Sagittarius A is only about 4 million solar masses. This difference, like many other characteristics of Andromeda, most likely the product of his past collisions, due to the annexation of other galaxies, replenishing its central black hole with abundant body and matter. Therefore, the black hole of M31, in the course of its life, consumes more mass than Sagittarius A, so much more culminating. Created this huge beast. He is contained by the fragmented core complex. The journey to Andromeda is long. Currently, it's impenetrable for us humans. Even if we can get rid of the attractive forces of the travel a light year, time required will vastly exceed the span of our human lifetime. However, although we may not be able to get to Andromeda Galaxy, but we are tiny after all, or don't need to go there at all. Because over billions of years, this muse will come to us voluntarily. When studying images of galaxies, one striking feature is his blue color. This is not the natural color of the starlight caused. In fact, he is caused by a phenomenon known as the blue meter. The blue meter is one of two types of Doppler-level meters. Compared to Hongyi in photochemistry, blue meter also informally refers to the light color when a mobile launcher, as we approach the observer, emitted electromagnetic wave frequency, the phenomenon that will move towards the blue end of the ambulances and police car alarms. As they approach us and leave, it sounds different. Here's why. Oncoming sound waves are clustered. The trailing sound is elongated. The same phenomenon. It also works for light traveling through space. If an object is far away from us, his light will be moving towards the red end. Galaxies will redshift. Most galaxies in the universe have red meters because over time, the expansion of the universe will push them farther. But for the same reason, a celestial body is moving towards us will compress their light waves so that they appear blue. This smudge of Andromeda blue indicates they're going about 110 kilometers per second, heading in our direction. Although the expansion of the universe has divided most galaxies, but Andromeda and Ben, the rest of the galaxy cluster, attracted by the allure of the Milky Way. So over the next few billion years, members of the local group of galaxies will merge into a single celestial body, both at a rate of 200 kilometers relative speed for a closer approach. If you keep this speed constant, over the next 2 billion years, Andromeda will grow cleverly in the night sky. It gets bigger until it becomes larger than the moon and other celestial brighter. Within 3 billion years, he will occupy our considerable field of vision. The universe behind it was suddenly eclipsed. Pressure is coming. Unless, of course, some kind of miracle occurs. Otherwise, our planet will become uninhabitable. But if you stand farther away, humans can manage to survive in the solar system. The distant future, then they will see the sky is messed up. Asymmetrical galaxies collide with electric houses. After 3.7 billion years, two galaxies will collide head-on with each other, fundamentally change their helical structure. After the initial impact, the nuclei of two galaxies will be brought back again and again until they merge at the center. Each iteration, there will be hundreds of billions of stars affected. It's pouring down in all directions. However, despite the large number of designed stars, but statistically speaking, any two stars, they're actually very unlikely to collide, because the space between stars is much larger than the stars themselves. Having said that, during the Great Brawl, due to the stars, will still be passed within each other's range. Zhejiang's balance towards a good track causes serious damage. The fate of the solar system. Ultimately, it depends on him during position after merger. For this, scientists conducted dozens of simulations. The future habitat of the sun has been determined, but there is no clear consensus. On one hand, the solar system could be ejected farther afield, or will enter the boundaries of the Andromeda Galaxy. It might even be completely kicked into interstellar space. There is another possibility. The sun will be hurled inward towards the hot center of the galaxy. When he enters the core range, may be torn. About 7 billion years later, collision event will be completed as each galactic river merges. That is to say, collide with two of the most powerful black. To get into high school, behemoths compete surprisingly. These supermassive black holes gradually start to circle each other. When they use dynamic energy to bounce the rampage off, its orbit will decay. This brings them together less than a light year away, then begins to lose energy in the form of attractive force to generate huge tidal ripples across billions of light years of space. I can feel it. Eventually, these two black holes will merge at the center, created a new supermassive black hole. It connects to the center of the new galaxy. So far, the final stage in the evolution of the local group will be a new supergiant elliptical galaxy. The original name was Galactic Fairy. In fact, galaxies like this collide is commonplace throughout the universe. and it's forming. Like us, the world has played an important role, but there's a limit to this cycle of collisions and mergers. Once this elliptical galaxy forms, its form doesn't change much from there. On the contrary, it will take billions of years, gradually absorb the remaining satellite, including the Triangulum galaxy. It is likely to operate as a new satellite galaxy, and the last member of the local group, swallowed by this monster galaxy. It would take more than 150 billion years. Once it's all swallowed up, it may become their eternity. But long before that, Proto-Andromeda Galaxy and star formation in the proto-galaxy. The gas will run out. When the galactic fairy system finally took shape, what's left of it, less space to refill its star. So elliptical galaxies, expected, will go through a vibrant star stage. But he will be short-lived, and not as good as those we already have, as seen in other elliptical galaxies, since there are no new stars to accompany dead star. The universal stellar population of their aging. More and more stars are entering the red giant stage. There they either explode or it becomes a white dwarf. When this happens, the expansion of the universe will push galaxies out of our reach, ultimately destined to be undetectable. We will never meet again. Even saw another large galaxy, unless the remaining dwarf galaxies in the local group, in addition to some small-scale mergers. Galactic Fairy will exhaust the mechanism for rejuvenation to maintain its own replenishment. In other words, this new galaxy will come to a standstill, and it's starting to fade away. You don't have to feel sorry for him yet. It's as if you've just been born and you're about to die. In fact, this is all going to happen very slowly. It will take billions of years, or even tens of billions. But what cannot be changed is stars in the galaxy. It will eventually cool down to just under 268.15 degrees Celsius. At this point, they will no longer conduct enough to make yourself shine. Eventually, they will freeze solid. Impenetrable sphere of matter. The elements they give life, locked in forever. Bit by bit, our star, the system will become darker. Once the last star is gone, the story of Andromeda and the Milky Way is over. And the good news is this: humans were born in this great galaxy, middle of a fairy story. Long after his chaotic opening, before his eternal and depressing conclusion, the interweaving of Andromeda and the Milky Way, greater than these astronomers. Imagine more closely. Hubble may never have imagined. Humans today already have the most basic scientific literacy others dare not say. At least follow our fans. You can almost casually name a few astronomical common sense, since we realize that M31 is a separate galaxy. Only about 100 years have passed. That is an incredible improvement. The video ends here. Thank you for your company. Let's have a game. Very enjoyable trip to the galaxy. If you are interested in our videos, why don't you pay attention? Looking forward to your next encounter with me. See you next time.